Greetings, Light Tribe. Janine Palmer here, Spirit Silver Moon for Harmony Energy Healing. Today, I'm just going to do a little talk about healing from or rising above the effects of gaslighting and narcissism that we encounter that can be extremely challenging and damaging. So, I'm gonna light some copal incense here, set our intention for this, and we can send up whatever we're releasing with the smoke. The intention to cleanse and purify this space, and for anything that we're going to release during this little session, we'll go up with the smoke. Okay. Hold on. My dragon incense burner wasn't cooperating. Okay, so I am going to do a card from the Sacred Power reading deck by Anna Stark. And I'm going to use one of my books, like an oracle. Okay, this one, I know it's backwards, is Fire and Thunder of the Bard. And some people use my books as oracles. So, well, I could do it too in my videos. So I've already, I'm going to do these first before I talk about it. So I've already shuffled and cut the deck and of the Sacred Power deck. And what I pulled is personal power. Okay, because we do have that. And sometimes it seems lost or gone because of how we allow things to affect us, either from or through our own energy, but also from another person's energy that is directed towards us if we don't have boundaries in place, or if we don't realize that it might not have anything to do with us. And so it's the other person's issues that they're projecting towards you. But if you have unhealed issues within yourself, then those are going to be triggered and come up. So for the personal power, take responsibility for your actions, reclaim your power. Emotions are powerful and can cause us to feel alone, overwhelmed, and anxious if we haven't had the opportunity to express our situation or experience. A symbol of polarity, of positive and negative. The Siberian tiger asks us to address our personal power issues. Tiger has chosen to visit you today to encourage you to express your deepest feelings. Embracing your darkest personal experience and transform it into positive thoughts and actions. And once we decide to, it says once we decide if a particular experience is good or bad, we then make a conscious decision about what to do next, identifying our method of emotional expression. We either speak up, become neutral, or we don't speak at all. Not speaking up, however, can leave us feeling helpless, placing us in a victim mindset. Tigers are predators and understand the need for secrecy, perseverance, and patience before committing to their prey. Standing strong and powerful is essential to their survival. In the same way, experiencing darkness helps us build strength and resilience. Right now, the tiger asks you to relinquish your victimhood and take responsibility for your own thoughts and feelings. Embrace your hardships with love and acceptance. Use them as a source for personal motivation. Take responsibility for your own actions and the part you have played in your current circumstances. Sometimes we don't realize that. By doing so, you will begin to reclaim your personal power. Now is the time to encourage a healthier environment by releasing toxic relationships, friendships, if you like. Negative attitudes and emotional vampires are manipulating your soul's freedom. Remove yourself from the game. Cut the negative cords and be free. So powerful. Affirmation here. I am now willing and able to stand in my own power. Each experience enhances my love, strength, and self worth. So whatever you take from that, that's a good one. And then from the book, I just opened up and came to a page. This is a chapter called Light Through the Cracks. And I don't know if it's up there, but you know, it's like a paragraph. Some of them are shorter, some of them are longer, but most of them are short and sweet. Sometimes you work with people and hold space for them and say nice things to them and forgive them, which is very powerful. However, when their unacceptable behavior doesn't stop, you may give yourself permission to walk away. You are not required to suffer abuse. You are not required to be dominated by negative energy that tries to pull you down into submission. The brave surrender to the light. Negativity reflects weakness, fear, anger. It is a low or lower vibration. Bless those who are stuck there. No blame, no shame, only love. And that must include self. So, you know, I was speaking with a friend the other day who's going through some really hard stuff, and I've talked to many people who have dealt with this along their path, and I've also experienced it for an extended amount of time. And there was a long time when I didn't understand what it was. I recognized the behavior and how debilitating and destructive it was. But when you attempt to communicate with someone and they're not able to communicate back because they're masters at deflecting things and firing them back at you, or they'll draw you in and because they know what points to push and they're going to trigger you or try to until that stops through you. But when they do that, they trigger a response from you because you know that what they're saying is false and you feel this need to defend yourself. And there is the argument and there is the energy that you're giving to that person through those techniques. Whether the person realizes they even do them or not, it's still a thing that happens. It's still destructive. So when we react and fight back, we're giving our power, our energy to that thing. Now, the reason that we react is because there's something unhealed in us still, okay? It might be jacked up and out of line that somebody does that shit, but what's it showing you about you? Sometimes we see what's going on with the other person and we see where it's messed up, but if it's triggering you, what's it showing you about you? So with my own situation, I couldn't communicate and have a hope in hell that that person was going to understand me because they wouldn't hear it, because they would twist everything around and try to throw it back at me. And I'm not a target, and neither are you, you know. So eventually I got wise to where I would recognize it when it was beginning, when it was starting to happen. And I just wouldn't engage. I just ignored it. I shut it down. Also, sometimes you don't make eye contact with those people when they're doing that too, because they look at you in this way. They try to make you think you're crazy or like you got major issues. And they'll even tell you have major issues. But it's really not you with those major issues. It's the person who's doing it to you, but they certainly don't see it. These are like coping mechanisms and behavioral patterns from programs that they run, from the wounds they haven't healed. Okay? And they typically don't know how to communicate. So they go into these patterns and habits that are destructive. You know, so when you can recognize, if you happen to live with this person, and you can recognize it, you can see it coming. If you've done some healing work on yourself, then you might be in a space where you can say, I see what's going on there, and I'm not going to play, so I'm going to disengage, and I'm going to go in the other room, or I'm going to leave. Okay, when you're not giving it the power and you're not feeding it, it'll kind of shut it down. And they'll just kind of go away a lot of the time. Maybe not all of them, but sometimes they'll just go away because they're not getting the response from you that's going to be an energy suck. Okay, so some people are in situations where they are being hammered by this toxic negativity and they're so hurt over years of this shit. And they don't know how to break free of it. Do they think they somehow deserve to be treated like a big fat pile of shite? I hope not. But if we are allowing ourselves to be treated that way, it's probably reflecting something in us that needs attention. and or, release, acknowledgement and release. So when someone treats you like that, you hopefully come to a point where you realize you don't have to take that. Now, if that just means doing what I said and disconnecting from it when you're still in that dynamic, or if you actually just have to completely, separate paths and say, I am done with this. I have learned what I came here to learn from that on whatever level. And now I'm going to make a different life for myself. I'm going to create a more peaceful space, whatever that is, or wherever that is, however you need to do that. Sometimes it's changing our perspective. Sometimes it's putting up the boundaries. Sometimes it's getting strong enough to say, you know what, you're not going to treat me like that. So that's for the individual to figure out. But sometimes people treat us in heinous ways, and it's really reflecting some very deep wounds in that individual. So if we can recognize that, then we don't have to be so angry at them for being such assholes and being so cruel to us because they're wounded. So it's not a license for them to be able to do that. But if we can understand that it's something coming from them and it really has nothing to do with us, then we don't have to hold on to it and we don't have to take it personally and be in some kind of victim mentality. So that is the purpose for this, is to talk about taking our power back from gaslighting, which is an absolutely nasty, lower vibrational pattern, habit, form of stuckness. It's diabolical fuckery. All caps. Okay, so whatever that is, if people have experienced it, what do they learn from it? What are they observing from the other person? What does or doesn't it have to do with, yourself? And what's it showing you about yourself if you want to look deeper? What's it showing you about yourself that might need to be strengthened? Some weak point that they're poking and pushing that you need to strengthen in yourself? Boundaries, protecting yourself in that way, taking that target off of you. Or what is it showing you that needs to be healed? What is it triggering? Follow those roots down and go deeper. Now, people can do this through meditation, through prayer, through going out in nature, through grounding, doing energy healing exercises to work through these energetic blocks for the purpose of releasing them, to clear and balance your own energy so you are in a more peaceful, productive, healthy space. And that's it for this one. Peace.